Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be showcasing a cool little Infernity deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Infernities are really fun, very summon heavy, very spammy. I've been able to reach 10 negates on my first turn with this deck. Um, yeah, it's pretty competitive, surprisingly. This is a pretty old archetype, but it holds up pretty well in the current link format. I'm running it as synchro variant. You can also play a pure linking variant, but I have a real soft spot for synchros. 5Ds was my favorite era, and I quit shortly after. So, yeah, this is my way to come back into and learn modern Yu-Gi-Oh! So, I will show off a couple duels later. Don't judge. I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! In many years. But anyway, let's get right into the deck list. So, starting off, I'm playing two copies of Infernity Mirage. This card is really bonkers. This is like a core part of your combos and your spamming. Um, Usually we get this out. We have a bunch of ways to get this out. You can special summon it from your hand with Stygian Street Patrol after you search it off in Arcfiend. The most common way to summon it, always summon it off of Saryuja Skull Dread. Pretty much always. It's really good. Also, if you find a way to banish it, summoning it with Leviair. The two copies always come into play. Like almost all my games, I use both copies. Three is not necessary. Maybe if we had two Saryujas, but we only have one, which is our main way of summoning it. So I like the two copies. Infernity Mirage, disgusting card. You're always tributing it to summon an Infernity Arcfiend, and +1 off of that, as well as your Infernity Necromancer, which usually will summon another Arcfiend. Oh yeah, and that's a great thing about this game. OCG ban list, 3 Infernity Arcfiends. It's really nice. I don't know why it's limited to 1 in the TCG, but we'll take it. Anyway, Infernity Mirage, very crazy card. Huge part of your combos, run 2. Infernity Avenger, just a tuner. Level 1 tuner. 1-for-1 target as well as Needle Fiber or Halki Fibrax target. This card will usually go into your 100 Eyes Dragon, which I'll talk about later when we go into the extra deck. Just the one copy. You just want to really get it into your grave. You don't really want to see it. 1 Infernity Necromancer. You can play 2. This is a very core card. Extremely important card, actually. If it gets banished somehow or you don't get access to it, it does hurt a lot, but you can still combo and you can still play without it. But it's huge. Every time you bring it back, you're plussing. And it's like not even just plussing, you're like +2ing because you're using it to special summon your Infernity Arcfiend, and then your Infernity Arcfiend pluses as well. So this card is really really bonkers. Basically, just special summon Infernity from your graveyard. It's once per turn, but you're always using it as link material or getting rid of it off your field and then bringing it back. And so you can use it over and over again throughout your turn, throughout all your combos. Level 3, so it's also a target for the next card. Tour Guide from the Underworld. I have 3 copies. This card is a great combo starter, but if you open 2 of it in your hand, it's really rough. So the fact that I'm playing 3, I bumped the deck list up to 42 cards total to slightly lower the chances of opening 2 tour guides. You only want to see 1. But when you have 1 tour guide, it's really great. You can get out your Necromancer with it to get that in the graveyard right away so you have access to it. You can get out Fiendish Rhino Warrior, which if you link with them or do whatever, you can use Rhino Warrior to dump Arcfiend Eris and get Infernity Arcfiend. Do a lot of stuff with it. You can set up your Cherubini with it. It's just really, everyone knows Tour Guide. Really good card. Instant rank 3 exceed or link. Beautiful card. Archfiend Heiress and Fiendish Rhino Warrior are a nice little package. These are really just like foolish or any like targets just to send to your graveyard to plus off of. Yeah, basically you send Fiendish Rhino Warrior. If it goes to the graveyard, you dump a fiend from your deck to the graveyard. So it's basically free Foolish Burial for your fiends. You can send Stygian Street Patrol. You can send anything you want really. Edge Imps. Archfiend Heiress basically just adds Infernity Archfiend to your hand when it's dumped. This is like the worst card in the deck to draw. You really hope you never see it in your hand, but it is what it is. Sometimes it happens. So that's a nice little package. Edge Imp Sabers, 3-star, another playmaker from your graveyard. So Archfiends, all their effects like Necromancer, Archfiend, Infernities, not Archfiends, they want you to be handless. Like you can't use their effects unless you have nothing in your hand. So Edge Imp is a card that if you dump to your graveyard, you can place a card from your hand on the top of your deck. So if you ever get stuck in a situation where you have one card in your hand and you can't get rid of it, this card can fix that for you and get you handless so you can start popping off again. Really nice card. We run 1 Jackalope, 1 Tsuchinoko, I hope I pronounced that right, 1 Mothman, typical danger package, again discards, special summons, get on the field, start linking, just typical, one of each. You can also, another package you can run actually, Psychic Wheel, you can run the Psychic Wielder and Psychic Tracker package. These cards are really good. They're 3-star extenders. Get you in your rank 3 exceeds, or you can link with them. One's even a tuner. You can't go into 100 Eyes with it, but because it's not dark type, but you can go into Herald of Arclight or Borreload Savage with them. It's another good package. I'm running the dangers, but I am gonna try a version with those psychics in the future. The 1 Wildcat, you really only need 1. You don't need 2. This is another card that can fix your hand by discarding another Infernity as well as special summon itself. Rank 3 is nice. You're commonly going to be exceeding Leviair with this. It's a tuner, and you can banish any Infernity to make it level 4, so that it can go into 100 Eyes or Borreload Savage. It's a pretty good card. You can run 2, but I really don't think it's necessary. I have it at 1. If we didn't have 3 Archfiends, I'd probably bump Necromancer and Wildcat up to 2 each, but we have 3 Archfiends. Praise the Lord. Thank you, OCG ban list. This is your favorite card. This card is amazing. So glad we have it at 3. Okay, so its first effect. If you draw it while you have no cards in your hand, you can special summon it. That's not going to come up too much. I guess like if your hand is literally empty, and we do have some draw cards, like not with Into the Void because you need 3 other cards to use that, but like Upstart or whatever, Drag Down can probably work, but usually you want to set up full board turn 1. That's that, so you're not really playing through turns and drawing into it. But that effect isn't important. What is important is that when it's special summoned, typically by Necromancer is going to be special summoning it a lot. Every time it's special summoned, while you're handless, of course, Infernities, you can add any Infernity card from your deck to your hand. So like usually we'll be opening up, like we'll be grabbing Patriarch with it for a 4-star extender. Then we'll be grabbing our barriers with it, and then our break. Just like fully set up. This card plus Necromancer and Mirage, this trio is combos for days. Really good. Glad we have it at 3. And this will usually be your 1 Infernity that you keep alive on the field to have your Infernity barriers active. So yeah. 2 Stygian Street Patrol. Great card to dump to your graveyard. It can also fix your hands, because if you're stuck with a monster in your hand, like an Infernity Archfiend or something, and you can't get handless, you can banish it, get it out. It can also special summon your Infernity Mirages from your hand for you. So, yeah, banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Fiend with 2000 or less attack. That's all our Infernities. All of them. So that's really, really nice. I run it at 2. You don't need 3. It's pretty bricky if you do. Just run it at 2. It's great. Infernity Patriarch, 4-star extender. If it's the only card in your hand, special summon it. That's it. So once you get handless, once you start comboing with Necromancer and with Archfiend, your Archfiend's going to search out the Patriarch, your 1-copy Patriarch, and it extends. You special summon it. You can exceed into Dugiers. You can link with it. You can do whatever. Just 1 copy. Really good. You don't need more than 1. You're going to search it out with Archfiend. That's good. Alright, so that's all the monsters. Now on to the spells. Monster Reborn, typical extender. Everyone knows and loves this card. Don't need to talk about it. Upstart Goblin. Yep, draw power. Really nice. Foolish Burial. Standard. You can dump anything. Drag down into the grave. So this is basically our anti-hand trap. This, like, you usually open up with it. Reveal the enemy's hand. Pick out their Ash Blossom. Pick out whatever they have. Max C, whatever. Get rid of it. It really usually doesn't matter what the opponent takes from you and discards. A lot of your stuff wants to be in the grave anyway. And like if you're worried about losing a trap like an Infernity Barrier or your launch or something, you can set it or place it out on the field before you use this. Well, actually, I guess you don't want to get Ash on that. But anyway, yeah, drag down into the grave. This card is really, really good. This is one of our only ways to play around hand traps. So definitely run 3. Really good card from Infernities. 3 Allure of Darkness. The typical dark draw power card. Honestly, I want to bump it down to 2, and I want to add, is it called Card Destruction? See, I don't have this card yet, but if I had Card Destruction, I would bump Allure down to 2 and run 1 Card Destruction. Just draw power, but running the 3, I've been bricking a lot with it. I don't know what it is. Like, just the last duel I played, I opened with 3 Allure of Darkness, and I was pretty triggered. Sometimes you don't want to banish one of the monsters in your hand, so it's kind of awkward. But if you can, like, start comboing, you can get out Levier, like with your tour guide or with whatever. You can banish your Infernity Mirage, you can banish your Archfiend with Allure of Darkness, and it's totally fine. So Levier will bring it back. So 3 copies should be fine, but I do want to get Card Destruction. 1 for 1. To bring out your Infernity Avenger or whatever. It's a good card. Send a monster from your hand to the graveyard. You can unclog your hand. Into the Void. It's basically a second Upstart Goblin. You don't want to see it later on into the duel because typically you'll be handless and then you won't be able to activate it. But if you get it like in your first turn or whatever, then it's just an extra Upstart Goblin. It's good. Otherwise, you can use it as discard fodder for any of your many discards in the deck. Horde Legacy Succession, great card, great extender. Basically a second Monster Reborn. Great for following up on plays and helping you combo again. Infernity Launcher, oh, please give us more than 1. This card, no, I understand why it's limited. This card is really, really good. So it also has you can discard an Infernity from your hand to the graveyard, so it can unclog your hands for you. Get you handless again. It's really nice. Set up your graveyard for Necromancer or whatever. Basically, it's a free Infernity Mirage as a spell. So you can send it to the graveyard, special summon your 2 Infernity monsters from your graveyard. That'll be your Necromancer, that'll be your Archfiend. Bada boom, bada bing. Very good card. It's limited to 1 for a reason. Definitely run it. 3 Void Apocalypse. So this card unclogs your hand as well. It's another discard outlet. So if you have that into the Void in your hand instead, or you have something you want to discard, you want to discard your Rhino Warrior or whatever, this card is really good because once you discard that card, you also get a free Foolish Burial. So you can dump a Stygian Street Patrol, you can dump whatever you want, right? Really good card. I like to see it in my opening hands, so I run 3. The second effect you're not really using, just the first one, but that's all you need. One issue though is I have found sometimes that I can, like with all the traps, with the Void Apocalypse and setting other cards just to be handless. I have a couple times I've clogged my spell and trap zone, and then when I summon Borreload Savage, oh crap, I can't equip anything to it. So just be mindful of that, because these are continuous spells, and even after you use its effect, it stays on the field. It's not gone, so just be aware of that. 3 Forbidden Droplet are going second card. You need this card. If you lose the coin flip and you have to go second, generally this is the only way you can play. You pray you get Forbidden Droplet. This is, yeah, for 3 Forbidden Droplet. This is the only card that makes going second playable. Just removing the effects of your opponent's monster. So if they've set up a bunch of negates already, because we don't have Ash Blossoms, we're not running hand traps, so we're not disrupting them on their opening turn. So you just need to disrupt them with this, and then that way you can play through their negates. As long as their negates are all monsters. And its cost really doesn't hurt this deck, because discarding is totally fine for us. You can discard Stygians, you can discard Fiend's Shrine to War, you can discard any dead cards and get handless and start comboing. So Infernities really like this card. But yeah, this is a must to play this deck. 3 copies. Infernity Break and 2 Infernity Barriers as our traps. So your Archfiend will be searching these out as you combo over and over and over again, and you'll have this as your triple back row. You can run 3 barriers instead of the break. I probably should do that. Barrier is a negate. Negates are always fun. So spell, trap, or monster, anything basically. You do need a face-up attack position Infernity monster though, is the catch. So you'll always keep 1 Archfiend that you're not linking or getting rid of, so that you can use these Infernity barriers. You definitely only really want to run 3 traps, so I wouldn't run 3 barrier plus a break. It's too cloggy for your spell and trap zone, but you'll always end your turn with all 3 of these set. So basically an Omni Negate, you run 2 copies of this, you can run 3. Infernity Break is just removal. So if you're handless, you don't even need the Infernity monster out like Barrier does, but it's just removal. So you can banish an Infernity in your graveyard, which sets up Leviair plays, and destroy a card your opponent controls. That's simple. Let's get on to the extra deck. Okay, so our Synchro package, Herald of the Arclight. Really easy to make with Infernity Avenger as well as Necromancer. Yeah, just a negate. We love negates. Also, can really, like, if you get it out on your first turn, it can really disrupt your opponent with the banishing. Spell, trap, monster, yeah, Omni Negate. It's really good. Really annoying for the enemy to play around, so I run one of those. Borreload Savage Dragon. Do I even need to say anything? You're going to be getting this card out later on after you trade your Saryuja for an Appolousa. So Saryuja will be in the graveyard, link 4, Borreload will get the Saryuja, get a huge attack boost off it, and have 4 negates. A card or effect, it's an Omni Negate. It can negate spells, traps, monsters, whatever. You'll have 4 negates on this thing. This card is amazing. Really good. Always run it in pretty much every Synchro deck. This is a spicy one. This is one of my favorite cards right here. 100 Eyes Dragon. Very spicy. Basically, you need a Dark Tuner, which is not a problem for our deck. You're usually going to be summoning this with Infernity Avenger, plus Necro, plus Archfiend or Patriarch. Basically what it does is, you can, once you summon it, you're not summoning this card for itself. You're not using 100 Eyes Dragon to use 100 Eyes Dragon. This card, wipe its name off. This is Infernity Mirage. Basically, once you've used your Necromancer's effect, once you use your Archfiend's effect, and they're basically just vanillas on the field for the rest of the turn, you synchro them off for this thing, and banish an Infernity Mirage from your graveyard. This becomes Infernity Mirage. So you then tribute this, you get the Necromancer back, which nets you another special summon, you get the Archfiend back, which nets you another search for another barrier or a break or whatever, and then you link off the Archfiend with something else, and then Necromancer summons another Archfiend, and then you get another search, another plot. It's so disgusting. So this is our third Infernity Mirage, is basically where I'm getting at it. So 100 Eyes Infernity Mirage Dragon. Beautiful card. Very, very nice tech. 2 Levier the Sea Dragon. The second copy, it's rare, but the second copy has come up. It's not that rare, honestly. I definitely keep this at 2. Very, very nice because it can net you your Infernity Mirage back. We have many ways to banish Infernity Mirage. 100 Eyes is one of them, right? Yeah, so 100 Eyes can banish Infernity Mirage and become Infernity Mirage. Then it can get your Necromancer and your Archfiend. Then your Necromancer can special summon Wildcat, for example. Then you can make Levier, and then Levier can get you that banished Infernity Mirage back, and you can keep doing even more shenanigans. So, yeah, Levier, great card. Definitely run 2. Number 60, Dugair's the Timeless. We have lots of 4 stars. You can make this pretty easily. Usually I do make this, and I use it to special summon back. So if I dump Infernity Necromancer in any way to the graveyard, this is typically how I'll get it back and start the comboing. So you can have Infernity Archfiend and then Patriarch out, or any 2 4 stars. Mothman is one. And you get Dugair's the Timeless. You detach Archfiend and whatever else, and you can special summon Necromancer, and the Necromancer can get you Archfiend back, and start the cycle all over again. So I definitely run 1 Dugair's the Timeless. You'll never need 2. 1 is good. Cherubini, 2 level 3 monsters, great to go with off of Tour Guide. It's a nice link too. Basically Foolish Burial, right? You can send 1 level 3 monster from your deck to the graveyard. Yeah. This is a Foolish Burial. This can get you your Necromancer into the grave for you. This can also dump Rhino Warrior to dump Archfiend Empress and get you an Archfiend. This can dump Wildcat for you if you need. Edge Imp Sabers. This is one of your best Link 2s, but you can only really make it off of Tour Guide. So if you don't have that opening, then you'll usually be using Beat Cop or Barricade Board Blocker as just standard Link 2s to start linking up. You don't really use them for their own merits. These 2 cards are just to be generic Link 2s, really. Halkify Brax. This is a Synchro variant. Obviously going to play this. You use either Avenger or Wildcat, whichever one you get first, to make it, and then it'll special summon the other one that you didn't have from your deck, and just plus even more. So you'll have a Link 2, plus you get an extra card, and then you can immediately make a Link 3, or a Link 4 if you have another tribute. Really, really good card. It's limited to 1 for a reason. Special summon 1 level 3 or lower tuner from your hand or deck. That is either of these. Nightmare Unicorn. It's one of our best Link 3 options. Usually run this in most Link decks. Pretty standard. Its effect doesn't come into play too often. It's usually for linking up and clearing out the board. So, because the board can get pretty clogged, so you want to start linking up, get to Link 3, open up room in your monster zone to summon out more Necromancers and Archfiends and just keep spamming like crazy. So this is the one Link 3 in the deck. Saryuja, this card is goated. This card is amazing. I don't really find myself using the forward link effect for the draw power. Usually don't need to unless you're really desperate, but basically what you want is the 3+ effect to you'll typically like special summon Necromancer and special summon Arcfiend, and Arcfiend will search Mirage, and then you're making Saryuja with them and another card, and Saryuja will special summon that Mirage that Arcfiend searched out for you to your side of the field. And then Mirage will bring back your Arcfiend and Necromancer. You know how it goes. So Saryuja is really just summon Mirage, keep you comboing, and then later on this will be your borreload Savage equip most of the time. Okay. Appolousa, Bow of the Goddess. You can get 3 to 4 negates on this. Usually try to go for 4 negates. This card is really OP. You always want to set it up on your first turn alongside borreload Savage. It's the classic, everything runs this right now, pretty much. Well, maybe not everything, but this card is really, really good. Last two, you can really do whatever you want. I just chose to have some strong Link 4s just to round out the extra deck, depending on situation. Access Code Talker is pretty good if you have to go second, because your opponent cannot combo anything in response to it. So this is a really good card to play through if your opponent has a roadblock set up for you. Nice Link 4. Unchained Abomination, another strong Link 4. Just a lot of card destruction. Really cool card. I just like it too, and I got a glossy. Nice. Anyway, that's pretty much it. This is my deck list. So yet again, I just want to reiterate that I personally would drop 1 Allure of Darkness for card destruction if you can afford it, but I don't have the UR materials to craft this, and I'm hoping to just eventually get it off the Legacy pack, hopefully. But that'll wrap it up for my Infernity deck list, and now I'm going to go record some gameplay. See you in Ranked. Hello. This is a video for my Infernity deck showcase. I'm taking the deck into Ranked. Let's see if we can do some combos, and let's try to give you a feel for how the deck works. Okay, so we bricked pretty hard. We have 2 tour guides. You only want to see 1 in your hand. We have Stygian Street Patrol, so we're going to have to find ways to discard these. So I'm going to start by summoning a tour guide. Use tour guide's effect. And I'm thinking that we want to get Necromancer into our grave here to open up with. Let's do that. Now let us summon Cherubini off of them. Cherubini is nice. Cherubini can dump Edge Imp Sabers for us, which is one way that we can unclog our hand. So I'm going to use Cherubini. Its effect will let me dump any level 3 from our deck to the graveyard. So we're going to do Edge Imp Sabers. And now Tour Guide's a great card. I don't want to discard it if I can help it. So Edge Imp Sabers will allow me to put it on top of my deck. That's nice. Summon out Edge Imp Sabers. The next way to unclog our hand, we're going to have to activate Void Apocalypse. And we'll use Void Apocalypse to discard our Stygian Street Patrol. That works out nicely. And we send another card from our deck to the graveyard. I'm thinking that I am going to dump let's dump Rhino Warrior, because then Rhino Warrior can dump something else for us and thin out our deck a little bit. Now, I don't want to dump Eris here, and normally you would dump Eris off of Rhino, but the reason being I already have an Arcfiend in my hand. If I dump Eris, then I'm going to get another one in my hand, and then my hand will be clogged again. I won't be handless. So we'll just get rid of our second Stygian Street Patrol. Now we're going to use the first Stygian Street Patrol to summon, monster from your hand, a special summon, our Infernity Archfiend. Now Infernity Archfiend is going to activate its effect, and let's add, could get Launcher, let's get a Mirage. Okay, now that we have Mirage in our hand, we have a Link 2. Ooh, we do have another Stygian Street Patrol in our graveyard to summon the Mirage, but we're going to summon it this way. I'm going to go link up Cherubini into Saryuja Skulldread. Summon Saryuja. Boom. Now Saryuja is going to use its effect to special summon the Infernity Mirage that our Infernity Archfiend searched for us. Infernity Mirage, activate. This card is amazing because we can summon both Archfiend and Necromancer and just start plussing for days. Summon Archfiend and summon Necromancer over here. So Infernity Archfiend is going to pop off and allow us to get an Infernity. Let's go with the Patriarch before we get our launcher, shall we? Yeah, let's use Patriarch. And now we can special summon Infernity Patriarch as a 4-star extender. And we can link into number 60 Dugares with our 2 4-stars. Let's summon Dugares over here. Why not? We can use Dugares. Special detach these materials and special summon our Infernity Archfiend again, which will then give us another search, and we'll probably search Launcher this time. Yeah, let's go for Infernity Launcher. We'll activate Infernity Launcher so that our hand is empty and we can now use Infernity Necromancer. I want to go for a quad Appolousa, not a triple Appolousa, so let's just use Necromancer right now and summon our Patriarch. And now we're going to make Appolousa the bow goddess. So we'll use our Dugares, we'll use our Necromancer that we've used up, we'll use our Archfiend that we used up, we'll use our Saryuja Skulldread, and we'll summon Appolousa over here. That is an Appolousa with 4 negates. Very nice. So now, the Infernity Launcher we grabbed will net us Archfiend and Necromancer. So Necromancer in defense position over here, Archfiend over here. Now use Archfiend's effect again. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe that I have a second Stygian Street Patrol. I do. That is great. So let's go into Avenger. Why not? We'll use Stygian Street Patrol to summon Avenger. Cool. And we'll make Needle Fiber, Infernity Avenger, and Infernity Archfiend. Nice. Needle Fiber effect. Special summon Wildcat. Very nice. And then I can use Necromancer effect again and summon Infernity Avenger. So now I can use Avenger with Necromancer and Patriarch and make one of my favorite cards in the game, the 100 Eyes Dragon. So we'll go Infernity Avenger, Infernity Patriarch, Infernity Necromancer. Boom, boom. 100 Eyes Dragon. 100 Eyes Dragon? More like 100 Eyes Infernity Mirage. So we'll banish our Infernity Mirage. And this becomes Infernity Mirage. Same effect. Tribute it off. And guess what we're going to do? Necromancer Arcfiend. So, Necromancer in defense, Arcfiend in attack. And now with Arcfiend, we're going to start getting out our back row. So we're going to want both our barriers, which are both negates. Very nice. Set that. We'll use Infernity Actually, we'll link up first. So let's link Nightmare Unicorn with Needle Fiber and Arcfiend just to get Arcfiend off the field. Nightmare Unicorn. And then we can use Infernity Necromancer to bring back Infernity Arcfiend and search out our second Infernity barrier. Select. Grab the Infernity barrier. Okay, set that so that we're handless again. And now we can use our... Remember how 100 Eyes banished that Infernity Mirage? Well, we can exceed with our 2/3 stars, our Wildcat and our Necro, into Leviair the Sea Dragon. And use Leviair. This is important. Make sure you dump the Necromancer because you want it back in play. Summon Mirage. Great. And we can make any Link 4 that we want with Unicorn as 3 and Infernity Arcfiend. Summon this bad boy. Unchained Abomination because I like it because he's cool. Infernity Mirage activates. Guess who we're going to get? I wonder. Summon Infernity Arcfiend. Summon Necromancer. We'll activate Arcfiend. And this way, we'll get our Infernity Break. Very nice. Set that. And then we want to get this Wildcat back in the graveyard. So let's go. I might be screwing up here actually. We'll see. Because I do want the Wildcat back in my graveyard. Oh, I did mess up. It's a shame. I can't go into Borreload Savage now. That's a real shame. So the best I can do is going to be this. The Herald's really nasty. Alright, well I kind of butchered this one. That's my bad. Normally you'd be able to get Borreload Savage Dragon out, equip it with Star Yugioh, and have Infernity Arcfiend so that you can use these barriers, but we kind of messed up here. Either way, this is still a pretty strong board. We have the Herald Arclight, we have the Quad Appolousa, we have Infernity Break. It's a strong board, but it definitely could be way better. Could be way better than this. I actually should have used Unchained Abomination to pop the Void Apocalypse and clear up my space. It's a bit of a misplay. Let's see what this guy does. Yeah, the one problem with this deck, it's really hard to pilot, and I am an old school player. I'm not used to this modernness, so please excuse me on that. Let's use this. What? Did he just chouse my beat cop? Instead of my appolousa? Wait, what? Okay. Yeah, this would be a lot stronger if I got the borreload savage out. So my apologies there. It is pretty hard to pilot. I definitely could have had it out, but I just misplayed. You don't get to play the game, sir. Banish Patriarch because we don't need it. Bye bye. Negate. Alright, what you got now, buddy? Not much left, do you? End phase. Yes. Destroy the card you just set. Cool. Let's go straight into battle. Boom. 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 Magical cylinder. Wow, that's a classic. Is there anything we could set? Oh yeah. Actually, wait. Let's use Void Apocalypse. Discard our Tsuchinoko and send Eris to the graveyard. And then Eris will actually get us Infernity Arcfiend, right? So let's do that. Discard. Oh, I can special summon this too. Beautiful. See if I can make up for screwing up earlier. Add to my hand. And we can... Oh, that's Edgent Sabers, I believe. So let's just summon this normally. And yeah, so now we have our 2 Infernity Barriers going as well. We can even access code, but no need to. No, do not use Unchained Abomination. I really wish I got the borreload savage out instead of the Arclight. It was a big mistake. I believe I kept the Necromancer out instead of the Arcfiend, and so I think I linked off the Arcfiend or something. And then because obviously Necromancer's 3 stars opposed to 4, I can't make borreload savage because Wildcat would have been able to make itself a 4-star using its effect, but it wouldn't be enough with Necromancer being only 3 stars. Okay. That's funny. Using its effect. Yep. Barrier says no. Bye bye. Use Abomination, and we can pop your back row. Yeah, so although I did screw up, you can really see how insanely spammy this deck is and how much potential it has. I've gotten quad Appolousa, quad borreload Savage, double Infernity Barrier plus Infernity Break, all in one turn before. I could have done it this game too. So if you really put the time in with this deck and you learn to pilot it effectively, I can actually see this being plat-worthy deck. This is really good. And it's really fun. I mean, it's really fun if you enjoy the like solitaire playstyle where you're basically playing against yourself. If you combo right and you do everything right, then you're probably gonna win. If you screw up anywhere during the process, then it's pretty rough. You could just throw the game yourself, and you win or lose based on totally on yourself, pretty much. Let's use another Infernity Barrier and save our Appolousa. Might not be the smart play actually, because Appolousa can only negate monsters. If that's correct, yes. Do not use the Abomination. So maybe you want to save our barrier. No, do not use Abomination. Drag down to the grave. I mean, can't do anything with it. Oh, we could have Edge Imp Sabered. That's a misplay. I could have put it back on my deck to get out Edge Imp Sabers, and then you could go into a Link Summon, but that's fine. We could have gone into Levier. Oh, we could have went into Levier. That would have been nice. Oh well. Let's just finish this. So attack with Appolousa. Attack with Arcfiend to BM him. And finish it off with Abomination. Boom. Alright, I'll do one more game. Victory. Alright, here's game number 2 with my Infernity deck list. We're going first, which is really nice. Unfortunately, we open with the break, which we usually want to search off of Arcfiend. We'll set that. We do have the Mirage in hand, which is kind of dead. So it's a little tricky with this opening. Send one Fiend from your deck to the graveyard. Very cool. If we had a way to dump... Let's first see if they have any hand traps and open with their drag down into the grave. Whatever they want to discard, they can discard. Doesn't really matter. Blue Eyes from your hand deck to the graveyard. Komodo. Discard sent to the graveyard. Special drag from your hand. Let's return. So these want to be in the graveyard, so I'm going to leave those be. Get rid of his Majesty. So this guy's looks like a casual Blue Eyes deck. Nothing special. He can discard any of these, I guess. Okay, he discards 1 for 1. So we're going to set Monster Reborn. We're going to activate Void Apocalypse. We're going to pitch our Mirage. Send a card to the graveyard. So send our Rhino Warrior into the graveyard first and foremost. And then use our Rhino Warrior to send our... We want to send our Eris? I believe we want to send our Eris. Actually, send an Arcfiend. And Arcfiend, we will Monster Reborn. Face up attack position. With Arcfiend, we will have to search off our... Problem is, if we search Necromancer right now, we don't have any targets, since Infernity Mirage cannot be special summoned from the graveyard. That's a shame. We said Launcher, we can't use it. guess we're looking to go into Patriarch. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to go into Patriarch, we're going to make Dugares, we're going to detach the two, and that'll send Infernity Arcfiend to the graveyard, and we'll summon, yes, we'll go Dugares, and then we'll summon the Infernity Arcfiend back with Dugares. And that way, Infernity Arcfiend will then search Necromancer, and we'll have Patriarch in the mix, so that we do have a target for our Necromancer. Okay, so get rid of both of these. Special summon you. Then off of you, we can search Necromancer. We still have our normal summon, so we summon Necromancer. I think this is the best way that we can play through this board. Necromancer for actually, ooh, this is a misplay. I'm sorry. I should have linked Dugares with Arcfiend into Barricade Board Blocker, and then Necromancer the Arcfiend back. We still should be fine, but that is certainly a misplay. Are we fine? I don't believe we have any further extenders. Okay, let's just go into Saryuja Skull Dread and draw. That was a huge misplay right there. See, this deck is pretty hard to pilot. Like, looking over the littlest thing can really ruin your day. Nevertheless, Saryuja can save it for us. Does this count as being drawn? So will Arcfiend summon? Let's get rid of you. Let's get rid of you. Let's get rid of you. And now Arcfiend does not summon. But Saryuja can summon Arcfiend. So summon Arcfiend in attack position, and we'll get Infernity Launcher. Normally we'd want to summon Mirage off Saryuja Skull Dread, but because I used Necromancer the way I did, and I didn't link Arcfiend off first, then Necromancer the Arcfiend, we can't do that. So we made one misplay. Let's make the most of what we have going for us. Activate Launcher. We're handless again. We'll use Launcher. No. Will we use Launcher? Get Necromancer, and we have another Arcfiend in our graveyard actually. Yeah, this is one that we drew off of Saryuja. That's right. Perfect. So we'll get Arcfiend, and we'll get Necromancer. Attack position, defense position. Activate you. Now, oh, okay. That's unfortunate. Well, let's do one more game then. Alright, let's try again. So, this game we're going first. That's what we love to see. Okay, we open the launcher. We open Void Apocalypse. We can dump a Stygian Street Patrol. That's very nice. The barrier kind of sucks. We'll open by playing our launcher. Probably should play Void first in case he has a hand trap. Ha ha ha! You'd love to see it. Max C. Alright. Well, no problem. Well, I mean, it is a problem, but no problem. We don't want to special summon anything right now. So, I'm just going to set Stygian Street Patrol and pass. Hopefully we don't get combo to All Hell and lose, but if we do, it is what it is. He gets no value out of his max C this way. What do we have here? Nebula Dragon, Blue Eyes deck. Okay. Not normal, special summon for the rest of the turn except light or dark. That's all he had? Okay. We bait out his max C, and we live to tell the tale. Okay, I'm going to activate Void Apocalypse, and I'm going to drag down. He'll be forced to discard my Danger Jackalope. Ooh, let's get rid of your Monster Reborn. Seems like he had a bit of a dead hand, so he's playing Ritual Chaos Max. It's unfortunate that we drew the other barrier. Summon Mothman. Honestly, tempted to pitch the Infernity Barrier. I think I have to pitch the Infernity Barrier to be able to start making plays here. Bye-bye, Barrier. Alright, so I'm thinking about sending Rhino Warrior, and then sending Eris, and then getting Arcfiend to my hand. And then... No, I think... Well, no matter what, I should get rid of Rhino Warrior. Thin my deck, and then use Rhino Warrior to get rid of something else. Well, here's the thing. If I get Arcfiend to my hand, I can summon it off of Stygian Street Patrol if I link those two together. Let's do that. Oh, we dumped it to the grave. My bad. We do have Infernity Launch. Up to 2. Just Arcfiend. Let's go for Dugaris. Defense position. Dugaris will dump the materials. We'll special summon the Arcfiend. We'll get a search. And then we have Stygian Street Patrol in our graveyard the way we want it. So we'll special summon our Infernity Arcfiend. Use the Arcfiend, and I suppose the best search here would be just get Necromancer out as fast as we can, right? We have to use Stygian Street Patrol to summon our Necromancer. And now we don't currently have a target to summon with Necromancer, so I want to link Arcfiend and Dugaris together here, so that Necromancer can bring back Arcfiend afterwards. Let's go Barricade Borg. Generic rank 2, purely just so I can clear the board and start linking up. So that allows me to use Necromancer, get Arcfiend, and through Arcfiend I can get a Mirage and then go into Saryuja and summon the Mirage. Correct? Yep. Saryuja, boom, boom, bow. Of course, linking up with the Barricade Blocker, can use it as 2 materials for Saryuja. So now that we have Saryuja, we're basically good to go. Let's go Infernity Mirage. Mirage activate, of course. Waiting for a response. Please don't tell me that he has disconnected. My timer's going down. What is the meaning of this? I think he left the game. I think he didn't surrender, he just shut it down. Oh, wait. Oh, we're back. I just lost some time. Okay. Seems my opponent is, his internet's not going so well. Okay, Arcfiend. Arcfiend, search out Patriarch. Nice extender. If we search a tuner, we don't have any way to get it out, so I don't think we can do that. I think all we can do is go into Patriarch here. And we don't have any tuner in our grave, and no way to dump a tuner, which is very sad. Ah. Okay, so if I search a tuner off of Arcfiend, actually I can dump it with Launcher. This is really good. I almost forgot about Launcher's first effect. So that's how we're going to get our tuner out. Okay, so we're going to go into Appolousa, Bow of the Goddess. We're going to use you, we're going to use you, we're going to use all of them. So we're going to have a quad Appolousa. And then we have our launcher to get back Necromancer and Arcfiend. No, I can't. If I use launcher now, then I'm not going to get that tuner actually. That's unfortunate. Because now I can't use its first effect. Either way though, we're still doing this. Infernity Break. I suppose we could have went maybe into... No, we can't go into Nightmare Unicorn because my hand needs to be empty for Necromancer. Yeah, I should stop overthinking. There's really not a lot I can do here. Okay. I think this is the best we're going to do off of the start that we had. So... Quad Appolousa and Infernity Barrier. It's not that great. But it is what it is. We also have the Infernity Break. It could be worse. Chaos form. I don't think so, buddy. Infernity Barrier is a good card. Believe it or not. Set one and pass. Set a monster as well. Okay, well, I'm going to pop your back row before you can use it. Card in the graveyard, we can banish a barrier, it doesn't matter. Just don't banish the Mirage. True Light. Alright, cool. Foolish Burial. Very nice. You know, let's... Oh wait, I can only go battle phase or end phase? I can't go main phase too? With Yugiohs? That's a learning experience. So if I went battle phase, I could have went main phase too, right? Okay. I thought it would have been battle phase or main phase 2, not battle phase or end phase with the UI. That's my bad. Okay. Let's use Void Apocalypse. We're not going to need the droplet. Discard. And we are going to want a Street Patrol in the grave. And Foolish Burial. We're going to want our Avenger in the grave. Cool. So Necromancer is going to grab Avenger. And with Necromancer, Arcfiend, and Avenger, I'm going to get 100 Eyes. 100 Eyes, Mirage, Infernity Mirage Dragon. One of my favorite cards. Very cool. We're going to use 100 Eyes Infernity Mirage Dragon. We're going to banish our Infernity Mirage. And that's what you're going to become. So now we get our Arcfiend and our Necromancer back. Necro over here. Arcfiend over here. Activate Infernity Arcfiend. And we're going to add, we can actually add Mirage to our hand since we dumped that Stygian Street Patrol with Void Apocalypse. So that is very nice. So we're going to use Stygian Street Patrol and summon the Mirage, and we're just going to be comboing for days here. Okay. So now what are we aiming for? So we definitely want Boral Sword. We can go Needle Fiber, or Halqifibrax, sorry, by doing this. So let's start with that. We're going to use you. We're going to use you. We're going to summon you. And use your effect. And this is how we're going to get access to our Wildcat. Cool. Now, oh my god, we could even make Leviair and get another Mirage back. That is spicy. There's so many options that we have available to us, but oh man, I think the first thing we're going to want to do is can't activate Wildcat. I think we should start linking up and clearing some room. Okay, if I make Mirage in these two spots, then, or Leviair, I have to use its effect. I won't have room. Let's see. We make Unchained Abomination with you as 2. We'll go you and you. Okay, and now we can use this Mirage. And we can get Necromancer and... Do we want Arcfiend though? Arcfiend's gonna clog our hand. So at this point, I'm not sure we even want the Arcfiend. I'm gonna go Patriarch. Yeah, I don't think Arcfiend is good to take anymore. Well, you don't have to use Arcfiend's effect though. It isn't mandatory. So keep that in mind. We'll use our Necromancer to get our Avenger. Okay. And we can just make Boral Sword here, but I kind of want to limit test and see just how much absolutely crazy bonkers shit I can do. So I kind of want to go Leviair way over here and use Leviair, pitching the Necromancer, that is important, and getting back another Mirage. Oh my god. I guess it's not important because now we're going to link the Leviair. So we can go Nightmare Unicorn. Let's see. So we can just go access code, right? Use you. Use... No, we only have 3. My bad. So we're going to go Nightmare Unicorn. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom. Cool. And we're going to use Mirage yet again. Shocker, right? We're going to get Arcfiend, and we're going to go Patriarch. Okay. Get you. And then Arcfiend is going to get Avenger. And there's Boral Sword. Or borreload, sorry. Borreload Savage Dragon. We probably could have even done better than this. And fortunately I didn't have the best opening, and I couldn't do this on turn 1, but I assure you that this deck is capable of turn 1ing a board like this. Similar to this. I've done it before. I don't have much time to play after this, so I can't go for another game in turn 1. I don't think I have to do another game to show you just how crazy the spam potential is on this deck. Like, that is a lot of summoning. This deck has a lot of potential. I'm making mistakes and misplays, and I'm still getting kind of crazy boards. We got a quad borreload, quad appolousa. We had Infernity Barrier. No, it's really nice. Let's attack with our Unchained Abomination. Use your effect and pop your other. Cool. And that's game. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy the deck. If anyone makes it, please give Infernities a try if you have any spare packs you can open. Really fun archetype. That's all I got to say. Hope you enjoyed the video. And with that victory, that is all. Have a good day.